Yeah, there is definitely a wide variety of economists' view out there. I mean, some economists are still even talking about the fact that the Reserve Bank never went high enough. So they're basically talking about the need for more rate hikes. Our view is that we're going to see a rate cut in the first few months of 2025. We had been thinking it would be February, and we did adjust that view more recently to a rate cut in May, which is closer in line to where market pricing is right now. But I think that there's still about a 50% chance of a rate cut in February, basically because I think the next set of inflation figures, which we get in January, the end of January, for the full set of the December quarter inflation data, I think it's going to show underlying inflation well within the RBA's target band on an annualized basis. I think that will make the Reserve Bank more comfortable around the need to lower interest rates.
What do you think is the biggest uncertainty for the RBA when they're talking about the high level of uncertainty about the outlook abroad?
It's quite mixed, I'd say. So the outlook for China is important for Australia from a commodity demand point of view, but we've had more announcements on stimulus measures from China, which is quite positive. And also what happens in China has a big bearing on the Australian dollar, which tends to move up or down with the risk sentiment towards China. The broader global issues around geopolitics with the US presidential election, which happened in November, and the new administration that's coming in, or even the tensions in the Middle East or the ongoing war in Ukraine, these are more longer-term impacts for Australia, and the new administration in the US will change, I guess, some of the global sentiment around what's going on with some of these wars. But it doesn't have really a direct impact on Australia right now. And our trade relationship with the US is not our key trade partner. We export, the US is our 5th largest trade partner. So from a trade point of view, we're not too reliant on the US. I guess it's more just around the global sentiment and what happens in financial markets, because that has a massive impact on Australian assets through how our Australian share market is priced, and of course from the Aussie dollar. But what's more important right now for the RBA and their policy decision is inflation in Australia and labour market, and those two things are not really impacted too much by some of the geopolitics that's going on right now around the world.